Good to see you all. Go ahead and settle into the room so we can get started. Hello, hello, hello. I am Mambo. I am the founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program, Coven Mother, Vision Adontor. I'm your reader for the week. I do this typically every Sunday, but I've been gone for a couple weeks, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. This is my offering to the collective. This is my opportunity for you all to just tap in, get a little bit of wisdom about the energy ahead of us for the week. And yeah, I've been gone for about 3 weeks, and that was because it was holiday season. And I gave myself permission to have a holiday this year instead of working through it, which is something that I typically do. And I have no regrets. Missed y'all. Missed the routine of this. You guys know I'm a Taurus sun, which means I love my routines. So it feels good to be back. I am still very tired. I'm a little under the weather. So if I sound different than usual, that's what that is. I'm fine, but that's what that is. We're going to start immediately because I don't want to be on here for too long tonight. Yeah, if you guys are a part of any groups, go ahead and share this link in those groups. If you have friends or family that you know are into these types of readings, share the link with them as well. The more who are in the room, the merrier. Some of you guys are here because you saw me post in different groups that I will be taking questions from the audience. Most of y'all know this, but if it's your first time here, yes, I will take questions from the audience. No, I will not sit on here and take free questions all night long. I do reserve the right to have boundaries around that. But also, that's something that happens after the forecast. So my request of everyone is that you be patient, that you wait until the end, and then when it is time, I will let you know when I'm ready to take questions from the audience. But we'll go ahead and jump right into it. Again, my energy is low. I love you all. If you're here, thank you. I will check in and say hellos to individual people in a minute. But again, let's just go ahead and jump into the message, okay? So we're going to start with our general, like always, and then we'll branch out into the other topics from there, okay? Ancestors, walk with me. Ancestors, what wisdom does the collective need at this time about the week ahead of us? What can you tell us about the nature of the lessons, blessings, challenges, insights we will receive over the next 7 days? Give us wisdom about what lies ahead of us during the week of January 6th through the 12th. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hello, Monique. Hello, Ami ASMR. Hello, Nicole. Monique, I got to talk to you because I just want to make sure you're all right. So let me know, and I'll reach out to you over text after this is over. Let me know a good time to give you a call. Hello, Omo Maware. Hello, JL. Thank you all for joining me after this long absence, or what feels like for me a long absence. Something that I'm trying to get in the habit to. Okay, all right, cool beans. Something I'm trying to get into the habit to, just because I've been doing it in my personal readings, is reading the bottom of the deck. The Queen has arrived. Today is awesome. Happy birthday, Miss Renee. Happy birthday. I was just talking to someone earlier about how much I love Capricorn people, period, but especially Capricorn women. And today is my nephew's birthday. He is turned 5. Happy birthday, handsome boy, my baby Braylon. Love, Auntie loves you. I know you're probably not watching this because your mama knows how much I cuss in these readings, but I just want you to know Auntie loves you anyway. So this is a great day to have a birthday. Capricorns are sometimey, but I understand why they're sometimey. They're the father of the zodiac. They have a low threshold for BS. Like they get frustrated easily. And it's like exhausted dad energy, even in the women. Like my baby boy, he's only 5, but sometimes he looks at people like, what is wrong with you? So I get it. And I have a lot of respect for it. As somebody who is ruled by a lot of Venus in their chart, I have respect for the Saturnian energy because it puts me in line in a really particular way. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm gonna pull clarify over one of these cards, and then we'll jump right into it. Clarify the Nine of Swords. What do we need to know about this Nine of Swords? I knew it. Okay. Yep. Okay. As we are in this period of Pisces and Venus, it is really important that we are clear about our own personal intentions. I say this because many of us are leaving things behind that no longer serve us. Many of us are going into uncharted territory. Many of us are shifting our focus in ways that forces us to prioritize and pay very close attention to our personal foundation, our business. And I don't mean like if you're in business for ourselves, it's very much mind your business energy. That's what I mean, right? And the unfortunate reality is that a lot of us who are tuned into this message have up until now, or up until the last 5 to 6 months of their life, have been living and moving in a way in which they have not prioritized themselves. Okay? Now, I say this all the time. People pleasing or minimizing yourself is a thing we do because we think it's going to get loyalty or protection. It actually does the opposite. It makes you food for predators. It causes people to build entitlements in you, right? The stillness of these next, and even though this is a 1-week reading, Spirit is telling me that this is something that we're going to be dealing with for the next 3 or so weeks, right? Not the full transit of Venus and Pisces, but for the majority of it, okay? Because I think it ends February 2nd, right? A lot of us are still trying to figure out, even though we've gone through a lot of change in these last 5 to 6 months, a lot of us are still trying to figure out the why. The why is not important. And it's interesting that I brought up Venus earlier, or Venusian influence, because those Venus placements, that they're all about the why. They want to understand why. They want it because it's about value, right? And so a lot of times we assume that people are doing or saying things to us or making things difficult because of how they value us, right? It's not. It's about how they value them. And the reason why it's really important for you to focus on yourself during these next 3 weeks is because most people who have bully that lives within them, who deal with insecurities, who don't know how to manage their projections, they're not good with taking responsibility. And if you are somebody, and I'm gonna get to the cards in a minute because I know some of you guys are like, just get to the cards, Mambo. Once I have my different setup and you guys can look at the cards directly, this part won't be so irritating for you, okay? But because there's so much movement, even in this stillness in your life, right? Because there's so much change in terms of direction and personal responsibility that you're taking on, if you are not careful, it will be really easy for people to take advantage of all this Neptune energy that's going on with that Pisces, right? And convince you that things are your fault that you are not responsible for. And that is the last thing you need right now. You don't need the distraction of confusion. You don't need the distraction of blame. You don't need the distraction of people trying to draw you back into your recent past. None of that serves you right now. because everything you do has to be focused on the forward movement and the blessings that come from the forward movement, right? Everything in your life right now needs to be positioned in a way that allows you to be open to this new journey that you're taking and the wisdom that comes from it. Because the wisdom you accumulate on this journey is going to position you to have so much better than what you are leaving behind. Learning is not easy. It's never meant to be easy. That's one of the failures of our modern education system in the US right now, is that we want to make learning easy and convenient, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a struggle. So even though the things you're doing put you on a better path, they're confusing. Your vision is not the most clear, right? There's a lot of movement, a lot going on. And the bullies that are around you, the people that, like, let's be real. There are people in our lives, whether they mean it to or not, who, if they can get you to focus on what's not working with you, it serves them, because then they don't have to focus on what's not going on within them. That is the bully to a T. Kids who bully at school, bully because shit is fucked up at home or shit feels fucked up within themselves. And the way that they get control out in the world, sorry, I'm wearing a new mascara and I don't think it's agreeing with me. Sorry, hold on a second. But things feel so fucked up within them that they have to make other people feel like things are fucked up with them, right? That is the energy of the bully. That is the chaos of the Five of Wands. It is children poking and prodding and beating up on each other in an effort to distract one another. And you literally don't have energy for that right now, because you're still trying to get your bearings. You're still trying to recover from the hangover of the last 6 or so months. You're still trying to figure out why you still feel uncomfortable or why things are not settled. And the discomfort of the Four of Cups is something that can't be forced. Can't force your way out of it. You can't kick your way out of it. You can't fight your way out of it. You got to sit with that discomfort and let it teach you something. And it's hard to do that if you have somebody who is so painfully unsettled that all they want to do is get you to focus on how you fucked up or how you're not good enough or why you're weak or whatever fucked up things bullies need us to believe about ourselves, so that they can get off on, ha ha, look at her, look at him, instead of dealing with them, right? So this is not a week where you have it to argue with people over bullshit. The over-explaining that you may have typically done, you don't have time for it. Bullies love it when you over-explain. When they make fun of your shoes and you say that these are my shoes from, kickball or soccer or whatever, they gonna call you a soccer head ass nigga and make fun of you for not having enough shoes, and why are you wearing your soccer shoes to school, right? That is how bullies work. They will prolong this period of confusion for you. And guess what? You don't have time for that, because again, big journeys ahead of you, leaving shit behind. And for a lot of y'all, that's the thing that you need to leave behind. You need to leave behind the pattern of over-explaining yourself to the bully. You need to leave behind the pattern of giving too much attention to people who are committed to misrecognizing you. That is the thing that needs to be left in 2024. That is the thing that if you have not left in 2024, you need to really dedicate your next 3 weeks during this Pisces and Venus to doing. I'm harping on this Pisces and Venus for one reason. What do we know about Pisces? It's ruled by Neptune. What do we know about Neptune? It's illusion and confusion. Pisces, even if they don't have bad intentions, can very, very easily hitch themselves or martyr themselves by being wrapped up in the wrong shit, by proving themselves to the wrong people, by getting distracted by the wrong things. And then it's not until they turn around and their cups are completely empty that they realize, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, right? This reading is asking y'all to just go ahead and leave that shit alone now, because the movement that you have the potential and the possibility to make in terms of hitting your milestones, of hitting your goals, of setting up a stable foundation for you in this moment that carries you throughout the rest of the year, that potential is so delicious and it's so important. And if you get distracted with trying to windmill and prove yourself to people, again, who don't want to understand you. And you don't, and here's the thing, again, going back to the Four of Cups, the reasons why they don't want to understand you aren't your fucking business. Whether it's because they're doing it because they want to draw attention off, that doesn't matter. If they're doing it because, for whatever reason, they decided that they don't value you, that's their shit, not yours. You can't pick it up right now. Because here's the thing. If you focus on that too much, instead of this Four of Wands, hitting your goals, making money, having a beautiful home, celebration, being celebrated by your community, your peer group, the people that love you, instead of having that, what you are going to have is a lot of confusion and lost sleep and nightmares. You are going to fuck around and waste your peace. So this is not a time to be wrapped up in the bullies. This is a time to pay close attention to your spirits, the wisdom that they're trying to give you. Because these motherfuckers who have been driving you nuts for the last few months, Spirit has been warning you about them anyway. Before that even happened, they were warning you. And you got here because you weren't listening. Don't waste a whole lot of time in nightmare energy. Focus on the ways in which your cup is being filled. Give yourself permission to only pay attention to the spaces, the people, and the places that pour into you this week. This is not a week to waste your reserves on fighting with people who don't want to understand you anyway. And the reasons why they don't want to understand you are not your business. You will only lose peace. You will only lose focus. You will only put yourself in a position where you take yourself off of the path of getting towards your goals. And instead, you waste your energy, you spin your wheels, asking yourself, why? When realistically, this person probably don't even know why they do what they do. They just know that they feel justified in hurting people and that it makes them feel good, but they don't know why. And what we don't do is give free therapy. What we don't do is give free healing. There are people that are professionals that can help them figure that out. That ain't your business. What is your business is this. Are you arming and equipping yourself to be able to move forward in ways that are going to give you better than what you leave behind? And the reason why you can't pay attention to these people is because realistically, black, brown, white, whatever the fuck you are, ass was supposed to leave them behind a long time ago. That is the message. That is the general for this week. Let's move into money next. We'll do money next. Hit those scales if this resonated with you. Hey, Fradasi. Hey, Lovana. Hey, Lady Raja Kwame. Good to see you. Funny you say that. I have a relative that came today. She's definitely the bully. I'm going to tell you, I used to roll eyes when people would say things like, yeah, as soon as you exit one relationship, that's when your exes circle back. Or it's like some people in this world just have a sense. They can smell when you're doing good and they want to pop back up to fuck it up. I used to think that was BS. But in my studies of astrology and just what I know about energy in general, that shit is true. The universe is always testing us. We're always being considered, right? And what is one way to test you deeply other than to bring your bullies back into present or to throw them in your face during moments where you need your confidence the most? Strength card, right? Think about it. Bravery is not taking risk in environments where you feel comfortable. That's moving within your comfort zone. Bravery is being in the environments or in the face of people that you know don't want to see you win and fucking winning anyway. And that's what we need to do this week. Not just this week, but again, these next 3 weeks. So from now until the 26th, this is something we need to be prepared for. Again, Venus in Pisces does not exit, or it's not done, rather, until February 2nd. So that means that additional week after the 26th is probably going to be a time of you reflecting so that you understand what the specific message in your life is anyway. I will stop talking about Venus and Pisces. I will get into this money reading. All right, let's see. What do we need to know this week? I forgot to read bottom of the deck for the last spread. It was 6 of Pentacles, but I'm not going to harp on it just because we've already moved forward. But I'm going to try to remember bottom of the deck this time around. So one of my subjects, one of my specialties, one of the things that I help people heal through the most, or not the most, but that I'm known for, is helping people with financial trauma recovery. Again, we talked about leaving things behind that don't serve you in the general reading. And the message is coming up again, but in a slightly different way in this finance reading. A lot of you guys are in a position where you can very easily set yourself up for the financial future that you want, but there are habits you have that are rooted in, I will say trauma, but for some of you guys, it's not trauma. It's ways of pleasing and soothing yourself that you picked up from family that you, and I'm actually going to do a lecture about this. It's going to be a Patreon exclusive, and I'll talk about my Patreon in a little bit. But I'm going to do a lecture about this in the near future, where sometimes it's not our traumas that fuck us up. It's the patterns of self-soothing and pleasure and reward that we were taught that we're not the healthiest, right? Sometimes gratitude for your blessings means that you teach yourself to hold on to them. Some of you guys don't know how to keep money in your pocket, and it's because the way that you soothe yourself when you hit a milestone is to overspend. This is coming up because in the immediate future, and when I say immediate future, I don't mean like in the next, and here's the thing, I think because I've been gone for so long, Spirit is like, give them a long fetch, give them a long understanding, because a lot of what I'm saying isn't just about the next week ahead of us. There are some of you in the next 4 months that are going to hit, I'm just going to say it. There's some of you in the next 4 or so months, if you don't check yourself about your unhealthy relationship with money and overspending, or soothing yourself, rewarding yourself through overspending, you will have a tower moment. Tower is on the bottom of the deck. And the whole spread, I'm going to get through it in a second, is talking about positioning yourself so that the ways that you pour into yourself, the ways you soothe yourself, the way that you express gratitude and pleasure is not about wasting your money, right? Because here's the thing, and I talk about, Nine of Cups is one of my favorite cards, but one of the aspects of it that I think we forget sometimes is that Nine of Cups is not meant to be a permanent energy, but you prolong the presence of the Nine of Cups through the expression of gratitude. That's how you keep your cups full, right? And this is coming up because some of you guys are grateful for the increase in the flow of money that has shown up in your life, but you don't know how to treat it. And because you don't know how to treat it, it's hard for you to hang on to your money. So working on your relationship to expressing gratitude for your money that doesn't involve you going out and wasting it immediately. Because think about it. How would you feel if somebody did a whole bunch of work to get you in their life, and then as soon as they got you, they threw you away? If money is an energy and we have to treat it a certain way in order to keep it around us, why are we so comfortable with throwing it away the second that it touches our palms, right? So that's something that we have to think about, but a lot of us have a hard time thinking about it critically because we think it's a pattern we picked up in adulthood, and it's not, right? It's a pattern that some of you guys picked up as a younger version of yourselves. So think about it. If you were the kid who parent rewarded you with rewarded your good grades with money, right? That could be an unhealthy thing, right? We think that that's a good thing to do. It's not. It's an unhealthy habit because it makes people feel like every time they hit a milestone or they do something good, the wasting of money is attached to it, right? If you were the child that, may have had an absentee parent, and the only time that parent showed you affection was they would show up and buy you Jordans a couple times a year, or they would show up and take you shopping, right? You may have it in your mind that what you do when you have a big milestone is that you waste money. And here's the thing, you think that it's a flex, and it's not. It's creating a relationship of ingratitude with your money, with your finances. This is coming up now in your life because for a lot of us, and I'm going to include myself in this, right? I don't do it all the time, but I do have periods of time where it's like, bitch, just stop spending. You're bored. You're not, you know what I mean? Like, work on that. But for a lot of us, we need to break this because it's the main thing that isn't in what's the word? Not an inheritance, not an inconvenience, an impediment. Thank you. It's one of the main impediments towards us creating the type of financial wealth and generational wealth, familial comfort, right? And protection with money that we want, right? Running out and telling yourself that every time you do something good, you got to waste a bunch of money is putting you in a position where you are likely not going to have money in old age. And we got to get real about this. So this is a habit, again, in the next 4 months that you're really, really being challenged to confront, integrate, and release if necessary. So there needs to be some changes, some new beginnings around you guys' relationship with money, how you intellectually engage with it, how you understand it, how you treat it, right? If the swords are about intellect, how we process, how we understand, how we engage with knowledge, you guys need new beginnings around how it is you engage with your money. Because the way that you currently engage with your money is keeping you on a financial tightrope. It's keeping you stretched thin. You feel like taffy, right? Even though you are doing a good job of accumulating, and there's a lot of people, congratulations to us. There's a lot of, I feel it. There's a lot of us watching this who have white knuckled our way into a certain position in the last year, more or less, with some change, right? But because your habits have not changed, you still don't feel like you got shit. You still feel stretched thin. You still feel like you are having this experience where the 30-day cycle with paying bills is beating your ass. And I'm here to tell you, even though you don't want to hear it, that's because there's a pattern you need to release. And you need to figure out a way to get that nostalgia hit from that pattern without allowing yourself to go broke, right? Again, your dad may have bought you Jordans a couple times a year to celebrate you when they came to see you, but that doesn't mean that in your adulthood, every time you hit a milestone, you got to go out and buy a $300 pair of sneakers. It's not sustainable. It's wasteful. And it don't matter how fly they are, you ain't going to have time to wear all that shit anyway, right? So you really got to think about how your habits, the way you treat your money, the way you neglect your money, the lack of gratitude you show towards your money, the way that you throw it away. It's like, what's that phrase? Money spills through your hand like water. If that's you, you have to take responsibility for how this is causing you to lose sleep and how this is causing you to lose peace, right? 9 of Swords. Some of you guys are making such poor financial decisions that you literally lose sleep over how you're going to pay your bills or how you're going to catch up. And that can be alleviated by really, really working through why it is you overspend. What is the dopamine hit? What is the nostalgia hit that you are associating with this overspending? And how can you give it to yourself in a way that is not causing you to neglect your money? Because here's the thing. If you don't figure out a way to do it in these next 4 months, it will cause a tower in your life. It will cause you to fuck around and miss out on an opportunity or cause something to cave in that you could have avoided just by getting this message sooner, okay? So that is the money and finance reading for this week. I see a lot of scales, so I can tell that that particular reading touched a lot of people. Continue to hit the scales if that resonated with you. Again, if you know somebody in your life that message resonates with, share this reading with them. Share the link with them, right? We're trying to grow the channel. We're trying to get these messages to cross as many paths fall on as many ears as it needs to. Okay. Hey, Tori, good to see you. Hey, Sanidra. Hey, Tashana. Let's do love next. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, and walk with me, elevated ancestors. What do we need to know at this time about matters of the heart in our lives and the lives of the collective at this time? What experiences around love, romance, matters of the heart, love, whether romantic, agape, or community at this time? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our environment, communities, and ways of being that will allow us to have the experiences of being loved we want to have? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Oh, spirit is, okay. Y'all drawing blood tonight, huh? I ain't even pulled the spread out. I'm just looking at the cards that fell out, and I'm like, y'all. So here's the thing. I think with the energy that I'm getting from the ancestors is that they're sick of our shit. And it's not just about the love. It's not just about the money stuff. I think that they don't like the energy that some of us have bought into this new year. I think that they're really tired of people saying new year, new me and doing the same bullshit over and over again. So tonight they're a little like, like a little like, say this already. You know this. Like that's very much, oh, that's very much how they're showing up right now. Okay. All right. Some of you guys keep saying that you don't want love and you're lying to yourselves. You do want love. It's just that you are fucking scared. You are afraid to do. There are changes you need to make in your life. There are habits you have that you know are absolutely fucked up. And you know that those habits are the things that are keeping you single, but you are afraid. You are afraid to let go of those habits. And the reason why you're afraid to let go of those habits is it's coming from, and I'm just going to use the language that Spirit is giving me, it's coming from a place of laziness, right? And this, again, I'm using New Year's analogy just because they're bringing this up. This is like, these are like the people that want to lose weight, right? And they go and they get a gym membership and they work out hard as hell for the first 3 weeks of January. And then after those first 3 weeks of January, they don't see that gym for another 3 months, right? Why does this happen to people? Because there are people that feel like they don't want to work on their health or their body if they don't see quick results. And as with most things that we are trying to bring significant change to in our lives, you are not going to see quick results. You're not going to see quick results. You are not going to fucking see quick results. You're just not, right? Some of you guys have done that in your love life. These cards are nasty. So I'm going to start with the cards. Y'all are scared. Y'all are scared to do what you need to do. Some of you guys are not going to get what you want from love and romance until you find the bravery, the action, the fire within you to do that shit scared and to go after what you want scared, right? If you know that you want to get into a romantic relationship, but you have anger issues and somebody's been telling you for years to go to therapy and get help for your anger issues, telling yourself, fuck it, people just got to deal with my attitude is not going to help you find a lover. It's just going to keep you lonely, right? So some of you guys are pretending that you don't know what you want. You're pretending that you don't understand what you need to do for love. And you are choosing inaction because that inaction is much more comfortable for you than taking the risk of doing the things you need to know. You know you need to do scared, right? Some of you guys are complaining about dating broke niggas, and then you guys go to the same broke ass sports bars every time that there's a single mixer. What do you think you're going to get in that environment? Some of you guys are claiming that you want athletic partners, and you don't get up and move your own body. And instead of getting up and doing the stuff you need to do to increase your physical activity, to join a hiking group, to put yourself in environments with people that have the energy and the body that you claim you want, you would rather sit around in chosen discomfort and confusion than taking the risks, making the changes, and doing it scared. Because for you, it's like, well, I don't want to try to change unless I can guarantee that I get what you want. Guess what? There are no guarantees. But you do it scared and you do it with passion anyway because of what it brings to you. Again, some of y'all lack the discipline for love and romance. I'm going to say this again. Some of you guys lack the discipline for love and romance. You want all the benefits of it, but you don't want to put the work into it. You want an emotionally intelligent partner, or an emotionally mature partner, but you don't want to do the work of reflecting over yourself and seeing whether or not you even are emotionally mature. How are you asking for something of a partner that you're not willing to cultivate within yourself? We attract what we are, right? So if you are self-indulgent and emotionally immature, guess what you're going to attract in a partner? And if you don't want to attract that in a partner, are you going to have the discipline to kill that within yourself, to mute that within yourself, to get rid of that from yourself so that you can attract something different? Here's the sad thing. Some of you guys will see what you want and get what you want as soon as you make the change. As soon as you make the change, you will start to see that people respond very differently into your life, that people are more flirtatious with you, that they're more interested in you, that they want to see you win. Friends that probably have never introduced you to somebody or set you up ever in life, once they see the shift in you, will start to be like, oh, well, you know, my homeboy Tony, I don't know who the fuck Tony is. I was just the name pop my head. My homeboy Tony, he actually likes to go and do X, Y, and Z. Maybe you guys should do X, Y, and Z together, right? Six of Wands is an energy of people seeing our elevation and wanting to support it, wanting to celebrate us, wanting to gift us with opportunity because they see the shift in us. But some of you guys are so afraid to have that personal discipline that it's easier for you to just blame. Love is fucked up. Dating is fucked up. None of it is. It's easier for y'all to say that to yourselves than it is for you to be disciplined. And that is very sad. Because what you're doing is you're spending so much time being afraid of this. Wasting so much time being afraid of taking those first steps to go on a journey that is uncertain because you lack the faith of trusting that you will get what you want. And here's the thing. We miss 100% of the shots we don't take. If you know that you have a deficit in who you are, your habits, your personality, and you would rather sit in loneliness and confusion than change those things, you don't have a right to blame other people. You really, really don't. So again, Ace of Swords in the exact same position as the last reading. Some of you guys need a shift in how it is you conceptualize and go about love. Some of you guys are way too comfortable with blaming other people for your loneliness and not comfortable with taking responsibility for the ways in which your actions and your words, or your lack of actions and words, have put you in a position where you're not getting what you want. Now, here's the thing. You got to be in your Queen of Pentacles. You got to be real with yourself. You got to be emotionally secure in a way that reflects your material reality, which is why Queen of Pentacles is such a fortunate, lucky, prosperous energy, right? She knows what she wants, and she's going to do what she needs to do to make sure that her material reality matches what she wants, right? That's why she is the Queen of Favor. So for her, okay, I want to look good. So she's going to do the things that she needs to do to look good. She's going to get her hair done. She's going to get her toes done. She's going to work out. She's going to drink water. Drink fucking water. She's going to drink water. She's going to eat vegetables. She's going to move her body. She's going to do the things that keep her confidence up, and that attracts people to her because that's important for her, right? That's why she works hard. She likes money. And she is not ashamed of the fact she likes money, so she works hard to keep it. And because she is somebody who her emotional needs match her material reality, and that she is capable of giving herself those things, she has favor from other people around her. So guess what those people around her are going to do? They're going to make sure that she has those things. There's a direct link between Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Wands in terms of that energetic understanding. So I say this sometimes in love readings, and I think it's the message that goes over people's heads. But it's the thing that separates the Queen of Wands from the other queens, because she understands it at a tactile level. Are you giving yourself the things that you say you want in love? Because realistically, that's the only way you're going to attract it. The only reason why a Queen of Pentacles woman can get a King of Pentacles man is because she's going to show up in the world in a way that attracts a King of Pentacles man. She's going to show up as consistent. She's going to show up as beautiful. She's going to show up as loving. She's going to show up as hardworking. Some of you guys know what it is you want in love, but you are not willing to be the person that gets it. And here's the thing, until you are ready, it's one thing to stand your ground and fight over bullshit, but are you going to stand your ground and fight for what it is you claim to want? And if you're not going to do that, then don't talk shit about it. Don't make it seem like it's just so much easier for other people who are married. It's probably not. They also had to stand their ground and fight and elevate above the bullshit to get what they want. Some of you guys don't know how to elevate against your own baser urges to get what you want. You are more dedicated to being right than you are to having the life that you want for yourself when it comes to love and romance. And that's why you keep dating people that, even though you know they're not good for you, they represent your comfort, right? It's easier to pretend like you don't know what you want so that you can just feel defeated and not go after it than it is for you to stand in your bravery, exercise some discipline, and be an energetic and an emotional embodiment of the kind of love you're calling in. So the long and the short of it is the ancestors are tired of y'all acting like there's something wrong with love and it's everybody else's fault, when a lot of you guys got to really ask yourself, am I being the person that's going to call what I want to me? Okay. Tori said, I'm reading her down. This is for a lot of y'all. This is for the collective. This is for quite a few of the people that are watching this. As you guys know, I run my work in a very calendar holiday based way. And because Valentine's Day is next month, there is going to be a sale on my love readings, not now, but coming in the next couple of weeks. If you feel like I was talking about you, you may want to consider getting a love reading soon. Because here's the thing, it's easy to blame everybody else, but the spirits are making it clear, y'all are y'all's problem. Y'all are y'all's problem. And here's the thing, it don't feel good to hear when you are your own problem. But you being your own problem, honestly, is the easiest thing to fix, because what's the only thing we have control over is ourselves, right? So let's do this health reading so that way we can go ahead and wrap up for the night. Ancestors, angels, masters, elevated ancestors. What do we as a collective need to know about our health and wellness over the next week? What are the lessons, blessings, insights, ways of being, challenges that we will be confronted with over the next 7 days? Who do we need to be? What do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, patterns, environment that we need to engage with or release so that we can have balance of our holistic health, balanced health of mind, body, and soul. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. by the Three of Swords. What do we need to know about the Three of Swords? Two things are coming up. We already know that there's a lot of overeating that takes place during the holiday, but what we don't engage with or we don't acknowledge is that, especially for some people who, for whom the holidays may be a difficult time, or if you don't get to see your family very often, the holidays are heavily associated with nostalgia. Your visits with your family may have been too short. Whatever it was going around and see, I'm stuttering because some of y'all don't even want me to get this message out because you don't want to admit these things to yourself. I'll just say it. Some of you guys overindulge way too much in food in particular, but there are other overindulgences as well coming up, specifically related to drugs and alcohol. Some of you guys overindulge too much because you feel lonely. And it's not a loneliness that's attached to romance. It's a loneliness attached to family nostalgia. All right. Some of this, again, comes from the fact that some of you guys don't see your people very often. Some of you guys don't have the healthiest relationship with your people. And so why am I bringing this up? There's a way in which you are overindulging during the winter holidays that's, for some of you guys, it's going to be hard to release early in January. You still do it. And you don't even know that you're doing this, right? Some of you guys have food that's frozen from Christmas and Thanksgiving still that's in the freezer, and you go and thaw it and you nibble at it and stuff, right? Some of you guys, because you still have those feelings, are still cooking shit that you know is way too heavy, right? Eat for winter, not for the holiday, okay? I'm going to say it again. Eat for winter, not for the holiday. Those are two different things, okay? And some of you guys need a shift in your paradigm in terms of how you deal with your pain, your nostalgia-based pain that's not rooted in food and substances, right? Again, Hangman, the illumination of blind spots, the paradigm shift that allows us to see how we victimize ourselves. Some of you guys are so used to leaning into these indulgences to soothe and to get to the next thing that you don't understand how it's negatively impacting your health, right? And a lot of this has to do with the fact, and I know some of y'all don't want to hear this shit, especially those of you guys who work for other entities or who aren't working for yourself. Trying to find out a better way to say that, because I feel like some of you guys think that I judge people who don't work for themselves, and why the fuck would I ever do that? I've worked for other people for more than half my adult life, right? What am I getting to? Some of y'all shouldn't be back at work already. I know, cuss me out for saying it. We live under capitalism. If I don't go back to work, how am I pay my bills? I know. Right? I get it. But some of you guys should not be back at work already. And part of the heartbreak has to do with that. The heartbreak has to do with the fact that a lot of you guys have had to return back to the office, have had to return back to work environments that kind of piss you off, that you weren't ready to get back to, right? You spent all this time reconnecting with the people that you love, receiving gifts, catching up with folks, really being nurtured and healed in a way that was so loving, and that shit was cut abrupt and you are not ready for it. It has you knocked off balance, right? It has you really, really knocked off balance with this temperance in reverse. So why is all this coming up in a health reading? Your spirits are warning you. Don't feel like it's okay to just, it's like you're sublimating your frustration with leftover Christmas cookies, as opposed to coping with or really getting to the fact that if you're pissed off that you can't be up under your family right now. This is winter. And we're supposed to be still nurtured by, still cuddled up under, still like in this space of regeneration with the people that we love the most. And most of y'all are not ready for it. You went back way too soon. Please be careful about using substances to sublimate this frustration. Because again, what capitalism does to us is that it makes us believe that certain feelings and emotions are weak or entitled. And what we don't want to come off as weak or entitled. So what do? We hide those emotions. How do we hide those emotions? With, what was I talking about earlier? Over shopping, overeating, all this shit that we don't need to be doing, because it fucks up our good health. And not only does it fuck up your good health, it fucks with your money. So as many of you guys that are going back to work earlier than you want to be because of the stress of capitalism, because let's be real, niggas overspent during the holiday season and we got to make that money back, right? Not only is it putting a stress on your peace, but it can put damage on your body if you are sitting there consuming a bunch of sugar and poisons. I was about to say preservatives, but spirits wants me to say poisons, to cope with your hurt and your heartbreak, right? So Fool card, what happens when the Fool card comes up? We got to think about different ways of doing things. We got to take a different journey, right? So that way we can take risks and see if they give us better results, right? Some of the changes that you all need to make, y'all can't make them until next year anyway, right? Some of you guys need to be real and honest with yourself about the fact that you don't want to work that first week or first 10 days of January. And you need to spend this year positioning yourself, especially if you're not going to quit your job, positioning yourself so that you can do that. You have the PTO, you have the time, you have the whatever. Your supervisors will get off your nuts and let you do it. Whatever the risk is, you need to figure it out. But some of you all, this is about you literally incorporating more physical movement into your day, right? Instead of spending that 10 minutes in the coffee break room, eating those leftover Christmas cookies to cope with your stress, spend that 10 minutes outside of your building going for a walk around the block or something, right? What can you do in your physical environment to put you back in your physical body so that you're not doing any nostalgia-based coping, over consuming that you're going to regret later, right? Stillness, temperance. I know that some of y'all already went back and did this first week back at work. You can't take enough. It's too late to take the additional time off. But what can you do within your power to create temperance and stillness in your home, right? What can you do so that way you don't feel like you've been rushed out of cocoon way too soon? And that involves temperance. That involves creating and cultivating some form of stillness in your life so that way you're not rushing. That's the biggest thing around the health. Some of you guys have gone back to the office way too soon. You've rushed into a situation that does not serve you. And we are aware of the material realities of why you did it. But your responsibility is to start putting the work in now and having a paradigm shift now so that you don't put yourself through this cycle again. That is a long-term solution, but also the immediate solution in the meantime. Watch your mouth. Watch what you put into your body. Watch the substances you consume. Stop eating a whole bunch of sugar. The cakes and cookies and pies were for the holidays. They're not for the office. Be careful, okay? Be mindful. That is the health reading for this week. We are now at the end of the forecast reading. This is where I will take questions from the audience for those of you who have questions. Again, these questions are free, but if you want to leave a love offering to show your appreciation, feel free to do so. My information is scrolling below, both my Cash App and my PayPal. You can send love offerings to me either way. I have extended my New Year's sale. I typically stop them somewhere between the 3rd and the 5th of January every year, but because I was gone for 3 weeks and not live streaming for 3 weeks, there are a number of you guys who had no way of knowing that I was even doing a sale. So I have extended it. If you would like to book a reading with me, if you would like to purchase some of my previous classes, 2025 forecast will not be available after the first week of February. So if you've still not booked your 2025 forecast, now is a great time to do so. You can use the code JOY, JOY at checkout to receive 25% off of your order. It will expire, the code will expire 11:59 p.m. on the 11th. So this was a sale that was supposed to end on the 4th. I've extended it to the 11th so that way it is available for you, the YouTube audience, to take advantage of. Okay. What else? Patreon will be up by next week. Again, we have had the holidays. I needed to rest. So my goal of getting it out the first week of January obviously has not happened. But it will be out next week. And on the 25th of this month, I will be teaching my first Patreon exclusive classes. So there will be 4 tiers, a $5, a $15, a $25, and a $40. Everyone from the $15, $25, and $40 tiers will be able to access all of my Patreon exclusive only classes. And the first Patreon exclusive is it's going to be called How to Spot a Pick Me. Okay. Pick-me's are spiritually corrupt. They just are. And I'm not saying that because I don't like pick-me's. I'm not saying that because I'm some, big ball busting feminist. Any personality type that is willing to go against themselves for external validation is a weak personality type to have in your life, and it will bring complications that you don't need. So we're going to be talking about what a pick-me is. What are the spiritual deficits that pick-me's invite into their lives, or that you can have invited into your life by cavorting with pick-me's? And then we're going to talk about how to identify the pick-me within you, as well as how to protect yourself from the consequences of pick-me's in your life. So that's going to be the first Patreon exclusive class on January 25th, but the Patreon will be launched well before the 15th. So keep your eyes out for that. There will be tiers for earth, water, fire, and air signs. So there will be exclusive monthly readings based on your zodiac sign. I've already talked about the exclusive classes. The highest tier will get monthly 10-minute readings with me based off of their tier and their contribution. And yes, you can use that $10-minute reading to add to a longer reading time if you want. But again, all this will be broken down in my Patreon, which you will have access to next week, okay? I'll just stop there with updates because it's hella y'all that got questions. So it seems like 6 or 7 questions, and I want to try to get through as many as I can. I do have to get off of here by 8:45 or so because I do have a 9 o'clock reading tonight. I'm one of those people that started back to working sooner than I needed to. So for those of you who think that the readings don't apply to me, that is not true. That absolutely applied to me. I should have taken an additional week off. I am tired right now. But, we're going to get through it. We're going to answer all these questions, and I will have time for my reading tonight. So Dulcinea said, what did my dream of big spider webs and a black spider mean? I was protecting the web from being destroyed. Okay, let's see. Ancestors, what can you tell us about the dream that Dulcinea had with the black spider and the spider webs? And those who shared is deeply appreciated. I figured. So spiders in a lot of religions are about protections. It is believed that sometimes, especially big spiders, black spiders, when they show up, that those are ancestors, particularly really old ancestors. I am getting that is what's coming up for you, specifically because you were protecting the web in your dream. The message is that when you protect your ancestors, when you guard your ancestors, they guard you back, right? So this is about the mutual exchange of protection between you and your ancestors. They help you elevate because you hold space for them. Page of Wands, continue to work with your ancestors. They're going to give you opportunities to there's opportunities for you to see your dreams manifest, the things you're working towards manifest. They're going to continue to give you wisdom through your dreams about that. There's also some sort of charity or gift coming, because that's another thing. Spiders are luck in a lot of pantheons. I'm specifically thinking about, I'm not even going to drop that game on y'all. But yeah, there's some luck coming your way. So continue to speak to them, continue to trust, just to really trust the wisdom that they're giving you at this time, okay? Let's see. Yapa said, should I invest in starting a business in herbalism, or should I put my focus elsewhere? Let's see. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spiritual walk with me, validated ancestors. What does Yapa need to know at this time about her business? Should she invest in this herbalism business, or should she focus her energy elsewhere? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You can be really successful with this, actually. Yeah. It's something that can be really supported by the community and can actually open a lot of roads for you. A lot of possibility for collaboration. We have the devil card, and I know I was talking about the unsavory side of the devil card earlier, but this is actually a really favorable card for business. It's Capricorn. Capricorn is literally the businessman of the zodiac. They are very ruthless and cutthroat about how they do business. And because of that, because they're good at taking their feelings out of business, they can be very, very successful. So this is a favorable business card. We have Three of Pentacles, which talks about you getting money with people that you respect, you working very closely in collaboration with people who have a shared set of goals. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, which talks about not only you making a lot of money, but you being very comfortable in your financial position. So I would say that this looks favorable. I would say that this is a good idea, Yapa. JL wants to know why her application was rejected and what she needs to do when she applies for one under a new institution shortly. Okay. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spiritual walk with me, elevated ancestors. What does JL need to know this time about the loan that she applied for? Why was she rejected? Is there anything that she can do at this time to make her application favorable with the next attempt within a month? And wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You're very welcome, Yapa. Miss Renee said, don't forget to get this reading. Yes, you guys, please don't forget to get the 2025 forecast reading. It is a limited offering. And I say this every year that I'm only going to offer it for 3 months. And then it's always a bunch of people the first week of February that are upset that I'm not offering it anymore. Like, why would you get a yearly forecast in June? The year's halfway over. Like, just get it while it's available, okay? You need to really reevaluate your application. It's like there was some sort of information that you missed that caused the application to be rejected. It wasn't gone over very thoroughly. You also may have misrepresented yourself. And what I mean by misrepresented is that you may have appeared like you had a shorter credit history or a lack of knowledge that made them uncomfortable with approving the loan. So the main thing you need to do between now and next month is to go in with more confidence to make sure that your business plan or what it is you're presenting to them is very, very just thorough, and that you are showing up as somebody who not only believes but knows that you are worthy of this loan and that you're capable of paying it back. We have the Knight of Pentacles connected to the Tower, right? Knight of Pentacles is really thorough. They're really observant. They cross their T's, they dot their I's. So if you did not get success in this, then it was likely because there was something that was presented in a way that was sloppy or haphazard, or that wasn't fully well researched. And as a result of that, you made yourself look like a novice. You made yourself look like somebody who, combination of things, insecure or not sure about the process, like didn't have enough knowledge about it, but also like you were just saying what you needed to say, right? And they can pick up on stuff like that. So there was something going on where you just presented the information in a way where it didn't seem stable. It didn't seem stable, right? And then we have the King of Wands, which is literally the card of the businessman. How are you making it clear that you are ready to take on this kind of responsibility? A loan is a responsibility, right? And King of Wands is really good at selling themselves to other people, not in a I'm gonna sell my pocketbook way, but in a like by the time you're done talking to them, you believe that they can do anything because they can sell water to a whale kind of thing. So two main things that I'm getting from this spread is that you have to be much more thorough about your application because there was something that did not get addressed in the bureaucratic sense, and that you also have to make it seem like you know what you're doing and that you're ready for this. Okay. I'm gonna do two more, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna do two more, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I'm sorry if I'm not able to get to everybody, but I'm tired. Tiffany, do I have ancestors' support with taking time off from work to focus on my business? And Zena, I'll try to get to you. I see that you've typed a couple times, but just let me get through this young lady, Tiffany, and then I'll see who I can get to next. Ancestors, angels, and masters, spirits walk with me, ancestors. Is Tiffany doing the right thing by taking time from her job to focus on starting her business? Is this a wise use of her time? If this is not the best strategy, please let us know why and point us in the right direction. Yeah, I think with stuff like this, especially when it's your first time, it's always a good idea to get somebody who like does this professionally to look over your stuff. I had to learn that the hard way when it came to grant proposals. I thought because I was a good writer, and I'm articulate, that was all it took, and then I had to get rejected from my first two grants to understand that I did not know what I was doing. Yeah, okay, I'm happy for you, Tiffany. I was afraid that they were going to say no, but it's a definite yes. Seven of Pentacles. The work that you put in now will bear a lot of fruit. The seeds you plant now are going to bring you a lot of progress, and this is a good season for you to be thinking about what you need to cultivate. So that's definitely a yes. You will have the full focus and force of energy to put behind developing your business. Emperor is Mars energy. They're the planet of war. They're ready to fight. They're ready to make some shit shake. But it's also about you having the ability to put like energy into setting up this foundation which is really, really important. Knight of Wands, again, fire, Aries, initiator. This is a great time for you to initiate a lot around your business, and the things that you initiate will pick up legs and they will grow for you. So I'm seeing this as a yes. You are doing the right thing by doing this. I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because when I'm always nervous when people are like, should I quit my job? Should I take a break from my job? But this looks very favorable for you. Oh, let's see. Zena is saying that she has dreamed of several people from her past and she's wondering if she should do a cord cutting. Let's see. You are very welcome, Tiffany. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits walk with me. Elevated ancestors. What wisdom does Zena need at this time about the people that are showing up in her dreams? Does she need to do a cord cutting? If it's not about doing a cord cutting, what is the message? Why is this happening? Any words were shared is deeply appreciated. You do need to do a cord cutting, baby. You do. So remember earlier, I don't know how long you've been here for the live stream, but earlier I was talking about how people low-key can sense energetically when you're doing good or when things are picking up for you. And because there are still attachments to these people, as you're going through this period where the sun is shining on you, things are working in your favor, folks are, really helping you, things are working out for you, you're gonna feel energetic tugs. They probably have been dreaming about you as well. So this is happening because things are picking up for you and there's a pull back and forth on the energy. The Magician and the Three of Pentacles. So it's not just G. It's a couple of people that you need to do this work around. This is also about you using, here's the thing, the Magician has a knowledge of self, right? So they know what they need to train and study on. So this is about you trusting that when these things come up for you, that you can lean into your powers as a magician and figure out a way to bring alchemy to your life and get the results that you want. But yes, you need to do this cord cutting because with the Three of Pentacles, there are these people that have been in your immediate circle that you had connection to for one reason or another, and they don't need to be there anymore. Star card, renewed hope and faith. This will also allow you to move in a way that's much more optimistic. There are times where doubts and fears pop up into your head. Those don't belong to you. Those are coming to you through those cords and attachments, okay? We'll do one more and get out of here because it's 8:44, and I want to make sure that I'm ready for my reading in a little bit. Let's see, 3 people left. Okay, Tori, I talked to you anyway, and Tashana, I talked to you anyway, and Tashana, you need to do your consultation for this month so we can address this question later. So I'm gonna go with Ami because I see her the least frequently. So Ami, I'll answer your question. Tashana, Tori, I'm sorry I didn't get to you this week. Y'all know I'll be back next week, so I'll try to do more then. But Ami wants to know how they can get over feeling uncomfortable with silence in conversations or in their relationships. Okay. Ancestors, angels, ancestors, spirits walk with me, elevated ancestors. What wisdom does Ami need at this time about helping her deal with her discomfort around silence? What is the root of her having this discomfort? And what does she need to know about working through it? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You're welcome, Monique. You're welcome, Tashana. So this is a self-trust issue. This is a self-trust issue. So you have to work on your relationship to self-trust. Um, the people that spend time with you really, really love you, and they really, really fuck with you. And the only reason why you are uncomfortable with silence around them is because there's a part of you that feels like if you're not always doing something that or giving something or impressing or entertaining, that people aren't going to love you, and that's not true or fair. It's not true or fair. Okay. 10 of Cups, everybody in your life fucks with you and fucks with you heavy on me. They love you down. These are connections even that aren't blood related, that are going to be with you literally throughout your lifetime. Like the friends you have now are going to be calling, your grandkids are going to be calling them TT and uncle, right? So they're not going anywhere, but because there's a discomfort within you personally and an uncertainty with you personally, you feel like if something's not going on or if you're not doing, then something is wrong. Now, that's not true. And the way that you work your way through it is by having the belief and the understanding that your relationships are solid. The more that you can believe that they're solid, that they're not going anywhere, and if anything, that they're just going to grow and prosper, the more easy it'll be for you to not feel like you got to do things like shuck and jive and shit or impress people, or you know what I mean? Like, because that's all it is. That's all it is. So it's about your personal discomfort that makes you feel like you have to overperform. So if you can get to a place where you understand in terms of heart mind connection, that you really don't have to be doing anything to make people want to be with you or be around you, the easier it'll be for you to be comfortable with silence. Tiffany said, I'm so glad I found you again. I did ancestor reading 2 years ago. That was very accurate and beautiful. I can't wait to get another reading, and thanks for your messages. Well, I'm glad you found your way back to me too, Tiffany. I have let go of certain collaborations, and there's been some shifting around in my career and in my environment over the last year. So I know that some people haven't been able to find me in the spaces they used to find me. So I'm grateful that you've made your way back to me. Please join my Facebook group, Sacred Roots, because typically whenever I'm going live or whenever I'm doing something, that's where I advertise about it first. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. I do this every Sunday, so there will be another reading next week as well. I used to do pop culture readings and celebrity readings. I had to stop that because the Diddy stuff was making me depressed, but I will be venturing out and doing some other specialty readings now that we're in a new year. Love you all. I gotta go. I will see you later in the week. You all know where to find me if you need me. If you want to take advantage of the sale and get 25% off of your forecast reading, make sure you do so before the code expires this coming Saturday. Use code JOY at soleilconjureshop.com to book your readings. Keep your eyes out and your ears open for the Patreon, which should be up within the next week. Love you all. This felt good. Glad that there was a good number of people in the live tonight. And I'll see y'all in a couple days. All right. Bye. Good night, everyone.